Hi everybody, it's MJ from my paper journey. It's a take two. I started to film it earlier and well, I made a mistake on some of the measurements. Good thing it was just at the beginning. So, hi everybody, hope you're all doing well and welcome to all my new subscribers and welcome to all my um, existing subscribers as well. And I want to say hi to my sister Frankie. Hi Frankie. And to Elena. Hi, mamas. Hi, Elena and Alejandro. Hi, pops. And hi, girls. Jenny and Aileen. How you all doing? I want to say also before I go on is I want to say hi to Lila from Raindrop Digitals. Um, I found I was I finally have a Facebook account, but I really don't really use it. Not like like I thought I was gonna do. I just don't really have the time. But anyways, I was browsing. I did join a couple of clubs, and one of them is this Junk Journal World, I think. Um, and I came across Lila. I'm not sure if that's her first name or not, but um, her Facebook and also discovered that she has a YouTube account and is Raindrop Lila Digitals on Etsy, but I think on YouTube is just Raindrop Lila. So anyways, I went to check out her video that she was sharing on Facebook. So I went to YouTube and I watched it, and I saw that she had just started. I think she had like 70 or 69 subscribers, and I think I told her I was her 70 subscriber or her 71st subscriber. I don't remember now, but I told her that if I did a video the next time I on YouTube that I would give her a shout out. And then the next thing I knew is she said, I want to send you some of my digitals, share with you. And so she did. And then, so this is what she sent me as a thank you. So I think that was very thoughtful of her. And so she sent me this. So that's her name of her shop on Etsy, Raindrop Lila Digitals. Go check her out. And I thought these were gorgeous. I mean, because you all know how I love roses. And so she sent me this sheet of ephemera. And then she also sent me this here, which I thought is very pretty. And I was thinking that this could be like a cover of a journal. And then cut this out and put some mylar underneath. And, and put a picture frame or something, I don't know, or a cover to a signature, something, I don't know yet. I haven't done, I just printed them out. And then she sent me a lot of tags, a lot of ephemera. And these are music sheet tags. And then she sent me these. Aren't they nice? And then these, I really love these because of the all the different I don't know, intricate kind of very Victorian kind of. And I love the neutral colors. It's very pretty. And then these are journaling cards that she sent me. So I'm thinking of incorporating this with a project. I really don't know yet, but I will. So yeah, go visit her, pay her a visit at YouTube, Raindrop Lila, and I'll visit her her Etsy store, Raindrop Lila Digitals, and if you go, and subscribe, and leave her a comment and tell her that MJ from My Paper Journey sent you. So us crafters, we have to help each other and support, and that's what we do. So I really appreciate you all. Give her a visit. So this is the there's quite a few of you that have asked me to do a tutorial, but I don't want to call it a tutorial because I'm terrible at explaining. And hopefully you guys will be able to follow me on this. I didn't realize a lot, how much measuring there was to it, even though it's a rather simple project, I think. But there's a lot of measuring, because when I work, I just start cutting and stuff. I don't really measure, I just lay the paper down. I said, okay, marking, cut, mark it and cut. I don't really measure. So I had to be a little bit precise on some of these measurements, so that those of you that love things to be to the T, hopefully, you want all the measurements, I have them for you. So to begin with the actual structure measurements of the folio, you're going to need 8.5 by 11 cardstock. Okay, one of the 8.5 by 11, you're going to cut, because the height of the folio is 6.5 inches. So the length wise, you're keeping the 11 inches. So at the 8.5, you're going to cut this paper at 6.5. Okay, we'll set that aside. And then the second, you're going to cut again at 6.5, because that's the height of our folio. Set this aside. But this one, you're going to cut at 8 inches. And we'll set these aside, because some of these scraps will need them later on. Not all of them, but some of them, if they're big enough. Like this could be a pocket. Okay. So the first 6.5 by 11, the first one you're going to score. Let me change my cutting blade to the score blade. I was using this because I had misplaced my score blade, but yeah. I really like this cutting board because it's so versatile. So I'll put it this way. Okay, so the 8.5. I have my notes here, so hopefully I don't mess this up. Okay, the first score, maybe move this so you can see better. You're going to score at 5 inches because that's the width of our folio. Five inches. Then you're going to move, we're going to score at 5.5 because we're going to give it a 1/2 inch gusset. 5.5. And then at 10.5. Okay, so this is what we have so far. First score line, it's at 5, then 5.5, and then at 10.5. This is the 6.5 by 11. Okay, that we cut from an 8.5 and 11 size paper. Okay, now the other paper that is 8 inches in width and 6.5 in height. First one, you're going to score at 1/2 inch. So this is the 1/2 inch. hold this so it doesn't move on me. Okay. At 1/2 inch, and then at 5.5. Okay, so this is what we have. This is gonna go over on the, we're gonna glue that on, and this is going to be your cover. But because we have, and this is gonna fold it, we have a 1/2 inch gusset. The next score line from here to the next score line, instead of being a 1/2 inch, I'm adding 1/8 of an inch extra, so it'll be a 1/2 inch, 5/8 of an inch. Okay, hopefully this is better. What we did on the second one is 1/2 inch, then we score at 5.5. And then the last score here, that's the this gusset here. Instead of being 1/2 inch, I added an extra 1/8 of an inch because it's going over all these layers. So we need a little bit more than just 1/2 inch. Okay. So then this becomes, instead of being a 1/2 inch for the final gusset, it's 5/8. Okay, so the last one is, instead of 1/2 inch, it's 5/8 gusset. So see, this is the flap, and then we're going to glue this on to here. And that's for the basic frame. For the folio. And I'm placing this right in front of the fold, right next to the fold, not on top of the fold, right next to the fold, because then it won't be able to fold on you. So this is what we have. Okay. And then what I did is I mitered the corners. And let me make myself a little with a pair of scissors, and I just miter the corners, and then I'll just turn this piece around. I mean, it's optional. You don't have to miter the corners if you don't want to. Okay, that's optional. You can keep it straight. So this is the basic structure of the folio, like so. Okay, that's the reason why I gave it extra, because once you put in all your embellishments and paper and what have you, yeah. And then I just noticed that this, my very first score, I did it at 5 inches. I'm gonna trim off just a little bit, because I'm noticing it that see how it's here, how it's not allowing this to lay flat. So if that happens to you, just trim off a little bit of it. Oh. I hope I'm not confusing you guys. If I am, just rewind and go back. Just gonna trim off a little bit of this at the end, like an eighth off. Because like I said, when I made this, I didn't really do a lot of measuring. I just did it. You know, whatever felt right to do, that's what I did. That's why I wasn't sure if I would be able to explain it to you. So there we go. See, now it lays flat instead of in a diagonal. Okay. So you might need to tweak it a little bit. So this is the front of the actual folio. And when you open it up, we have a slant pocket. And then, so for the slant pocket, I guess it's all up to you how big of a slant you want on the pocket, or it's up to you. So from the top, you're going for the pocket here, you're going to need, well, since I cut the edge there a little bit, this, instead of being 5 inches, is actually 4 7/8. Yeah, 4 7/8. Okay, so I'm going to trim off an 1/8 of an inch on this one as well. If you want exact measurements for the slant pocket, on the top it's like 1 1/4. So just mark, oh no, it's 1 1/2, and then 2 1/4 from the bottom. And so you just mark. So then what you're gonna do is cut from the 1 1/2 mark on top to the 2 1/4 from the bottom, and you're gonna cut right across for the slant pocket. Okay, so then we have our first pocket, and that goes here. Okay, so I'll put the slant pocket. Now if you're new at all this, what I would do first is cut the pieces that I need, distress the edges, and now that's optional. You don't have to distress the edges, but I like to distress my edges. I'm not gonna glue the pockets down yet because I want to be able to have room, you know, to put my my pretty paper to cover the back of this, and then to cover the front of the pocket. So I don't want to glue it down yet because I want to be able to have room to add my designer paper. Okay, so that's the first pocket, and that's the slant pocket. Then as we opened it up, as you know, on the inside is this pocket right here. And Maribella Creations, or Maribel, she called it a Spanish window pocket. So that's what I'm going to call it, the Spanish window pocket. And this one measures, of course, you know, the height is 6.5. And you're going to need a 6.5 by 4.5 for the inside pocket. Now what I did is I cut my pocket, and then my designer paper that I'm going to place on top, and I ran it through the Cricut machine together, both of them, both of the layers. And I ran it through several times. I kept going back and forth because, you know, I was going through 2 different cardstock. And those thin metal dies are not made to really cut through a lot of thickness paper. But I did that several times, and then I kind of added an extra a sheet of paper to add extra pressure. You know, when you put your plates in, I added a piece of paper, you know, a scrap piece of paper, and I ran it through again and again and again. I did it maybe like 4 or 5 times, and then it went through both layers of paper, or cardstock, should I say. So that's how I did the Spanish window. Okay, so this window measures 4.5 by 6.5. Now keep in mind that your designer paper, I've cut it just a slither smaller all around. You know, it's up to you how much you want, you know, on the edges, how much you want of the cardstock to show. It's up to you. It's all preference. Okay, so that's for this pocket here. It measures 4.5 by 6.5, and then my designer paper on top was probably 1/8 of an inch less around. Okay, and then I already showed you how, explained to you how I cut this. So that's for that part. And now for the inside, which this is the little journal part. This measures, fold in half, it measures 9.5, I believe. Yeah, 9.5 by 6 inches. It's not 6.5. I made it 1/2 inch shorter than the actual folio. And then 9.5, so this folded in half, then it's going to measure 4 3/4. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, 4 3/4. So I already cut my 9.5 by 6, and then we just fold this in half, and that's for the little journal. Now it's up to you how you know what kind of closure you want to make. I just made this simple closure. I think this is you can put lace trim. This is 3/4, and it's probably 3/4 by 2 inches. 1/2 inch went inside, sandwiched between the paper, the cardstock on the top, and then this piece here is 3/4 of an inch in width as well. Yeah, and it's 1 3/4 in height, and then you just glue the top. Okay, I use brads there as my closure. Okay, so that's what I did. And then for this pocket measures 4 3/4 by 2 1/4. You know, or you can make whatever, you can make a side pocket or no pocket at all. It's, you know, it's all up to you. It's all preference. So that's why I'm not giving you the measurement for this pocket. But if you want to know, I think I made it a little bit smaller so that it wouldn't interfere with the fold here. And this little pocket measures in width 4¼ by 2 5/8. If you want to do it 2½, do it 2½ by 4¾ Here was just a scratch piece of paper that I made, so it's smaller. It's a smaller pocket. You know, you can do that, or make it big, like bigger like this one. You know, the height, it's all up to you. This is 2 5/8. Okay, this was a scratch piece of paper, you know, that I had from the scrap. I didn't want to cut up another paper just to make a small pocket. So that's why I cut this at 4¾ by 2¼ because it was a scrap. So your pockets can be whatever height you want. Okay. And then of course in this one I use the 1-inch scallop because I couldn't find my circle punch. So on this one, then you would cut this. But I wouldn't do this now until you put your designer paper first, and then you want to cut, you know, the a thumb. What do you call that? The thumb. Well, you know what I mean. This little circle here. Okay, this is for the journal that goes here. And what I did is, you don't need a 3-hole pamphlet. You just need a 2-hole. So I just eyeballed it. If you want to measure it, you can measure an inch from an 1¼ inch in or so. Okay, and then I punched. Okay, and then when it was ready to attach it, I just make sure that it was centered, and I use my pencil, and using those 2 holes that I just punched. Oops, didn't come out. Let me erase this. Want to keep it like centered. Like so. Then I punched this. Okay, so you do that, you know, when you're ready, once you have your papers, pretty papers on and everything. So basically that's what I did to attach the little journal. Okay. And now this is what we have. For the center envelope pocket that I have here, you're going to need because the width of this is 5 inches, but I made this 1/8 of an inch smaller. So you, instead of being 5 inches in width, you're going to cut a sheet of paper, you know, sheet of paper 4 7/8 in width by 4 3/4. That's the height of this pocket. The pocket is 4 3/4 high, but the width is 4 7/8. Okay. Now for the flap, you're going to need a 4 3/4 in width again, and the height is 3 inches, and you're going to score 1/2 inch here, and that 1/2 inch is what you're going to glue on the inside. And then of course then you're going to cover with your pretty paper on that. And again, I mitered the corners. You don't need to miter the corners if you don't want to. I don't measure. I just cut one slant, and then I use the slant that I cut off. I use it to measure the slant on the other side. So there you have it. Okay, so this is this part here, and this is this pocket here, and that's your pocket, your large envelope pocket on the inside. Remember to make it 1/8 of an inch smaller, so when this folds, it's not going to interfere with a natural fold of your gussets. Okay, and that goes here, and that goes there. This is my Spanish pocket that Maribel called it, Spanish pocket. Now, this is the paper punch that I use. You can use you know, any paper punch that you want to use. So this goes here for my journal. Now, this is the 2 pocket right here, 1 and 2 pockets. Okay, for those 2 pockets you're going to need again, you're not the width is going to, instead of being 5 inches, oh, I did this wrong. You need 4 and 7/8 by, that's why I did it 5 and 7/8. It's 4 and 7/8 in width, and the height is 5 1/4. Okay, so the height I have correct. I knew this didn't look right, so I want 4 and 7/8. And 4 and 7/8. Anytime you do like a folio, any inside pockets or whatever that you're doing, you always want to make it like 1/8 of an inch smaller than the actual width of your folio, so it doesn't interfere with any of the you know, when you fold up your folio. So this goes here. So this is my first, this is the pocket that goes in the back, like this, and then this is the pocket that goes here. And what I did, I used this paper punch. It's from EK Success. How come it's not opening? Or is it opening? Okay, so what I did is I kind of centered. Did it cut? No. It's not cutting. Why? I really didn't have any problem when I made it. Oh, there we go. I had it locked. Okay, so I cut that, and then I moved this down to, well, you guys know how to use this, huh? And then you line this up is it at? Come, it's not lining up. Oh, there it is. So that's the small pocket that goes here, and then, you know, whatever paper punch you have. So this is your top pocket. Lay it down here, and then this is the smaller pocket. Goes here. Pocket here. I don't think I lined it up really well there. And pocket here. What I did is when I use the designer paper, you kind of visually want to look where you're starting in the center, you know, line it up. So I did the same thing with my designer paper. But what I did, I left it a little bit bigger in case, I'll show you what I mean. I don't know if I have a paper here to show you, but okay. Let's take one of these scrap. Let's say this is the designer paper that I'm going to apply on top of this. It's, you know, it's a lot wider, okay? So then I paper punched it where it's supposed to go. So once it was paper punched, then I laid it on top like this, lined it up. Then I got my pencil, wherever my pencil's at. So then I went in and on my trim paper and I trimmed it off. And then I glued on my designer paper on top. So that's what I did. And that's the same, that's what I did on this for the inside pockets. Okay. And then, okay. So this gets folded up, that. And then we're left with the large pocket in the back. That's the slant pocket that goes in there too. I hope I'm explaining myself, guys, because like I said, I'm a terrible so this is the back pocket, and just like I paper punched the 3 pockets here, the 2 pockets I mean, that's the same way I did the outside pocket, the back pocket. So I kind of centered my paper on my paper punched. Line it up. And that's how I did the back pocket. Then I got, this is my designer paper. It's going to be a little bit bigger, the width, or should I say, yeah, the height, a little bit bigger, and also all around, you know, keep it maybe like a half an inch bigger, and then paper punch this like I did, and then line it up, you know, to the pocket, turn it around, make your lines, and trim. And that way you get them to match to your pocket. And that's pretty much it. You know, the rest is just decorating how you want to decorate it. Oh yeah, I forgot that little this little pocket, I mean the envelope that I made here, that I did the accordion. This little envelope pocket measures, you're going to need a sheet of paper of 7.5 by 5 3/4. Okay. And I have a scrap here. Seven and a half in length. By 5 3/4 in height. And then you're going to score. Let me get my score. My score blade. I'm getting all shaky now because I haven't eaten. I just don't get hungry. Okay, for the envelope here, for the little pocket envelope. So the sheet is 7.5 by 5 3/4. You're going to score at 3 1/4, your first score. Yeah, you're definitely going to need to rewind this to go back, and then we're going to have a gusset of 1/8 of an inch. So that was 3 1/4. So your next score is going to be at 3 3/8, because we're only going to have 1/8 of an inch gusset. Okay. So this is what we have. Okay, let me score the other one a little bit better because it's not that easy visible. There. Okay, so 3 1/4, then 3 1/8, and then at 3 1/2 from this score line, you're going to go to 3 1/2. And let me see. Oh yeah, wait. Okay, 3 3/8, and then like this. I think I cut this off wrong. Then we're gonna do okay, this is 3 1/4, then 3 3/8, and this is 3 1/2. Okay, it's kind of hard to see, so you're gonna do another 1/8 of an inch. I'm gonna have to just eyeball it because You do another 1/8 of an inch. So you're going to fold this up, fold this up. Yeah. Just remember 1/8 of an inch gusset, okay? You can make the envelope whatever size you want. But I think this needs to be a little bit bigger. So instead of 7.5, I would go 7 3/4. Okay, 7 3/4 by 5 3/4 in height. So you're going to score at the first score 3 1/4, then 3 3 3/8, and then and I always do is after I do that I turn around because I always kind of like to stay with this. So yeah, then from the 3 1/2, and then after you score the 3 1/2, another then an 1/8 of for a gusset. I do a lot of turning around, guys, so yeah. Okay, and then you're gonna need what happened to, you're going to need a 6 by 1 inch strip. Okay, let me cut a 6-inch. Oh, I didn't want to switch blades, but I guess I'm gonna have to. Okay, this is 6-inch, and we need a 1-inch strip. Oh, it's not even straight. Is this an inch right here? Yeah. And let me put my score blade on again. Oh wait, yeah. Okay, so for the little accordion on that little that pocket, so you're gonna score. You're gonna make 3 scores 1/4 inch apart. So 1/4 of an inch, and then at, don't move. I'm all shaky, guys, because I need to eat. Then at 1/2 inch, and then at 3/4 of an inch. No, this is a 3/4 of an inch. Oops. Okay. And then this strip is 6 inches. We're going to cut it to 2 3-inch strips. So here's my 3-inch. Is this a 6-inch? No, this is not a 6-inch. Oh my goodness. Okay, whatever. Okay, I'm just gonna pretend this is a 6-inch. Cut it in half. This is turning out to be a terrible. And we're just gonna fold these as an accordion. Okay. We're gonna form a W like that. So then this envelope, the one that goes, here's the two pockets. I keep saying three, but it's 2 pocket that goes here. Before what I did is, okay, the W, let me see, this is the W here. You want the W upright, so you're going to glue one side. Like so. And make sure you place this just a little bit above the score line. I'll show you. Okay, here's the score line. Okay, just above it. Okay, but we're not going to glue this down yet because we're going to need to attach it to our actual folio. So put glue here. So this is what we have. Okay. And we're going to do the same thing. Mark wherever you want to pierce. And where's my piercer? Misplaced it. Oh, here it is. Okay, so you're going to pierce here where you marked it. And then you're going to go to this gusset here and centered the little gusset to the folio. You don't have to be like super exact on the minute. And then again, use your pencil where you pierce those 2 holes there. See, did it go through? Yeah. And you're gonna go. Okay, and then you attach this with whatever yarn string that you want. Okay. Then once you've done that, then you can go ahead and close this up. So then you have your little accordion envelope attached. And I think that's about it. I think I covered the whole basic structure of the folio, guys. I hope you able to follow my instructions. Like I said, I am not very good at explaining things. I'm more of a do and share instead of a process. I'm not a teacher. I'm a terrible instructor for this. But yeah, so I think I did everything. And then also to reinforce your gussets, when you cut your designer paper for the gusset, also do it an eighth of an inch smaller in the width and the length as well. Okay, just make it it's just a little bit smaller than the actual width of each gusset. And that's pretty much it, guys. If you have any question that maybe I didn't wasn't very clear on, let me know. Okay, I'll try to put the exact measurements after I'm done with this on the description box for you, so you can follow if you have any questions. And like I said, you're really gonna need to pause this. And yeah. And also for the envelope on the closure here, on this one I put Velcro, and I cut an inch circle, and I put the little Velcro tabs for the closure. And this one, I use this crochet flower that I put a little butterfly in as to hold that in, to hold the flap in. And yeah, so folds, folds, and folds. That's why you want this outer gusset on the right to be just a little bit smaller, because it's gonna hold everything in once you've had it decorated. So that's why this is a little bit 5/8 instead of being 1/2 inch. Okay guys, I hope I explained it to you and you're able to understand it. Like I said, let me know. Okay guys, take care till next video. Love you all. God bless.